Louis Vuitton, the brand, is today a division of LVMH Moët Hennessy Louis Vuitton, simply known as LVMH or Louis Vuitton, a holding company which came into being in 1987 with the merger of the fashion house with Moët Hennessy. The story of Louis Vuitton began with the dream of its namesake founder. Founder Louis Vuitton was only 16 years old in 1837 when he began his apprenticeship with trunkmaker Monsieur Marichal in Paris, France. His arrival in the city is something immensely inspiring. Vuitton, who was born in Anchy, walked 450 kilometers from his birthplace to the European megacity to fulfill his dream of becoming a maletier, or trunk maker. Vuitton's talent helped him get noticed at the Parisian atelier during a time when clients had their trunks custom-made. After sharpening his skills for 17 years at Monsieur Marichal's atelier, Vuitton opened his own workshop at 4 Rue Neuve des Capucines, near the Place Vendôme, in Paris, in 1854. This was an opportune moment for Vuitton as only a year ago, he had been appointed by Eugénie de Montijo, Empress of the French, as her official trunk maker and packer. In 1859, Vuitton moved his trade to the commune of Asnières-sur-Seine in the city. The workshop at Asnières-sur-Seine is today a prime symbol of Louis Vuitton's heritage and is at the center of everything the fashion house has ever created. At the time of its opening, the label had just 20 employees. By 1914, 225 workers were employed at the Louis Vuitton building in Asnières-sur-Seine. Around 170 craftspeople still work at the atelier, which functioned as the only workshop of the brand until 1977. Today, the site is like a pilgrimage for the brand's patrons. Besides being an active workshop, where the design and production of Louis Vuitton products for global markets continue, the Asnières-sur-Seine grounds have an Art Nouveau-style private museum as well, which once served as the Vuitton family residence. The Asnières-sur-Seine atelier is extremely significant in the history of the Louis Vuitton brand. This is where the brand's flat-top grey trunk, also known as the Trianon trunk, was produced. The first custom Louis Vuitton trunk was designed for banker Albert Kahn. However, one of the greatest products ever produced by Louis Vuitton was perhaps a customized bed trunk for French explorer Pierre Sévourien de Brazza in 1874. The bed trunk was basically a customized trunk that would convert into a bed, an ideal accessory for someone like Brazza. The illustrious explorer would remain a loyal customer of the brand till his death in 1905. The bed trunk was revolutionary, as its flat top made it more transportable and stackable than rounded top trunks. As it was also a period when people traveled primarily in horse-drawn carriages, ships or steam locomotives, flat tops ensured that the bags could be stacked easily, resulting in better handling of baggage. Although the trunk became instantly famous, there was still a major problem haunting founder Louis Vuitton: theft. In those days, belongings were often stolen from trunks by ingenious thieves. Thus, Georges Vuitton, Louis Vuitton's only son, worked with his father to design a lock mechanism in 1886 which completely revolutionized baggage safety. The system, which came with 2 spring buckles, was renowned for being pick-proof. Later patented by Georges, the lock has been so effective that Louis Vuitton bags continue to feature it to date. Georges took over the reins of the brand, which was still known as a luxury luggage maker, after Louis Vuitton passed away at the age of 70 in 1892. A year later, he presented the brand for the first time outside of France at the Chicago World Fair. In fact, Georges' ingenuity was key to the expansion of his father's eponymous brand into a globe-trotting giant in the world of luxury living. One of the most famous things that Georges did during his time as the head of the luxury fashion house was to give it an enduring symbol, the world-renowned Louis Vuitton monogram. The brand had been struggling with counterfeits of its products even when its founder was alive. He started using damier print canvas and hand-painted striped patterns on future Louis Vuitton trunks in 1876 to distinguish Louis Vuitton authentic products from cheap copies. The damier print canvas was especially noteworthy, for it was marked Marque L. Vuitton Déposé on the inside. In 1896, Georges designed the brand's beige-on-brown signature monogram canvas, showcasing graphic flowers in catafoil with his father's initials LV. The classic monogram has featured prominently on nearly every product that the luxury label has since produced. Though its design underwent minor modifications, the monogram has remained the defining symbol of the brand, making its creations easily distinguishable in the world of luxury lifestyle. Louis Vuitton celebrated the 100th anniversary of the monogram in 1996 by inviting 6 fashion designers, Vivienne Westwood, Romeo Gigli, Sibilla, Manolo Blahnik, Isaac Mizrahi and Helmut Lang, to create unique Louis Vuitton luggage pieces while incorporating the iconic print. The collection, which included a vinyl record box, a backpack with a built-in umbrella and an oval-shaped shoe trunk, was then exhibited across the world. Jacobs, an American, arrived at Louis Vuitton as its creative director in 1997, and the following year, he launched the brand's first-ever ready-to-wear line. Thus began the brand's storied rise as a fashion behemoth, which today stands as tall as its equally illustrious competitors outside of the LVMH umbrella, such as Gucci, Balenciaga, Calvin Klein, Chanel and Burberry. Jacobs was a master conductor of the runway. His innovative designs had a magnetic pull on fashion enthusiasts, and supermodels, such as Naomi Campbell and Kate Moss, walked the runway wearing the creations. During his 16 years at Louis Vuitton, Jacobs gave a new identity to the classic monogram canvas by using them liberally on everything from hats to fans and tights to jackets as a print pattern. Many of the creations were available for sale in Louis Vuitton stores, helping the brand reach out to an even wider set of high-net-worth patrons who wanted to be seen in Louis Vuitton fashion. The immensely creative mind of the maverick fashion designer was also instrumental in the brand's collaborations with some of the finest contemporary artists of the world. This redefined Louis Vuitton's iconic bags and was marked for the artist's personal styles. One of the most noteworthy collaborations was with Steven Sprouse in 2001, 3 years before the American artist's death from cancer. The product, Graffiti Speedy, is to date considered a landmark among Louis Vuitton bags. As the name suggests, Sprouse overlaid the Speedy bag with the words LV, Speedy and Louis Vuitton appearing as spray-painted graffiti rendered in myriad colors. This unique styling was a far cry from the more sophisticated appearance of the usual LV monogram. It was a mega hit among all Louis Vuitton fans, so much so that Sprouse's graffiti style was reused by Jacobs multiple times. One of them was a special tribute to the artist in 2009, in which Jacobs used a rose drawn by Sprouse on Louis Vuitton bags. Another famous collaboration of Jacobs was with Takashi Murakami. The legendary Japanese contemporary artist gave his own spin to the LV monogram, releasing bags bearing the iconic brand symbol in playful colors, including hot pink, turquoise and Kelly green. Dubbed the Monogram Multicolor Collection, its design has been a major hit with younger fans of Louis Vuitton ever since. Murakami and Louis Vuitton continued their collaboration over the decade with collections, including Cherry Blossom, 2003, Monogramouflage, 2008, and Cosmic Blossom, 2010, featuring everything from cherry blossom designs to Murakami's signature kawaii illustrations. Jacobs remained at the helm of the creatives at Louis Vuitton till 2014. He left his position to completely focus on his eponymous label, which he had founded years before joining the French luxury brand.